reflect. You know, remember and embrace where you're from, your own personal heritage, because it tells you a lot about how you make decisions, how you have made decisions in the past, you know, and perhaps the difference, the disparity between that and how you make decisions now. And sometimes, you know, there are parts of me go, man, you are very much like yourself. I had someone the other day when I was explaining this scenario, this website, to a friend of mine who knew me throughout the wackier years of college. She was like, dude, are you feeling all right? Are you on anything? And I was like, nah, man, I'm totally straight. She's like, are you sure? Because I don't know. And I was like, nah, everything is gravy. And she had a really hard time believing things. And then I spoke with her the other night, and I explained it better, because it's been hard for me to explain exactly what I'm doing here to some people. My friend from Sweden, that I hope you'll meet, it was cool. It was really reassuring and encouraging. He got it right off the bat. You know, he was like, dude, that's cool. Awesome, dude. I look forward to it. So he'll be on here watching this as well, which is cool. But I explained it to her in a more effective manner. She's like, well, you could have just said that. And I explained to her, you know, I'm still kind of tacking down what I'm doing, so I'm not entirely sure. And she said, well, you know, it's interesting because when I saw you the other night and you weren't making any sense and it seemed like a whacked out idea, it reminded me a lot of your old kind of messed up self. And I said, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. We're kind of, you know, kind of flight of fancy, kind of whimsical. She said, you know, all these years since, she said, I thought, you know, you've changed a lot. You've changed a lot. But, you know, I saw you the other night and you were talking and you were clearly there. You haven't changed a lot. And I said, well, the thing is, throughout the conversion process, you know, you jump through a lot of hoops, and it happens. You know, whenever you convert to anything, any culture, any language or religion, you go through a number of shifts that could leave your former self or parts of yourself in the dust. And for me, as an only child whose grasp on reality is dependent upon his own grasp on himself, it is essential that I get myself back. And so I've kind of reclaimed a lot of my whimsical nature. The difference is, back in the day, I was rather whimsical because I really didn't give too much concern. I was just kind of like, whatever. Whereas now, I have a very different scope. I'm very goal-driven, very goal-oriented. This isn't my goal. This isn't what I intend to do for a living, clearly. But I have a focus, and this is something I do on the way. And I'm kind of rejuvenating, rekindling some of myself in the process. So, yeah, and she kind of got it, which was really cool. And she was supportive from that moment on. She's a cool cat. But, you know, it's one of those things where had I lost contact with myself in that period of time, like a lot of people do, they look back on what some people actually consider downright shameful periods in their life, and they kind of, ooh, let's not do that again. And they kind of drop it. And I'll be honest, I don't remember much of 4th grade. It was traumatic. Now, I don't know exactly why, and I intend to pick it up later, but I'm not against, you know, doing what you got to do in order to move forward. But I think if you can afford to look back, if you can afford to make friends with your old self, it's probably worth doing. Because you have probably within you, and this sounds super hokey cheesy, but you do have within you, within your head and your experience, you have things that can help you out. And I don't mean just kind of get you out of, you know, it's not like a Bill and Ted situation where he's like, oh dude, if only I had a, and then he opens the door and there's the key because the self that was there before said, dude, if only, and no, it's not like that, although that would be sweet. And you can cut now, but there are things that are extremely informative that are in here that you do not look to currently. That goes for myself. And that's why I think it's worth pursuing yourself and going forward. And it's not in the name of self-actualization. It's just, for me, it's in the name of hopefully understanding one person well on planet Earth. And the best chances are with me. It's tough to understand people. We are so multi-dimensional. It's awesome. But I'm not going to be able to know anyone else very well if I can't know myself. So anyway, and my motivation behind knowing myself is not so that I can know others very well. Although it is handy dandy to be able to relate. You know, I have some friends who have been here and there, and I have some friends who feel